are live and on lockdown.
Are you ready?
Broadcasting from Edinburgh, Scotland and across the globe.
Listen here.
You're listening to Ramsey Unleashed, Going Beyond Borders podcast for host Fraser Ramsey.
Hey, this is Afia Leatham, creator of the Frame Your Day app, helping you walk out every day in victory. I'm proud to be a sponsor of Ramsey Unleashed, Going Beyond Borders.
Hi, this is Zakia Ringgold from naturalsoapbyzakia.com, proud sponsors of the Ramsey Unleashed, Going Beyond Borders podcast.
Good day, everybody, wherever you're watching from or around the world. Welcome to another edition to the Ramsey Unleashed, Going Beyond Borders podcast. I'm doing a business connection interview this time, not your usual rigmarole. Somebody who I met at Edinburgh Coffee Connections business networking event, and also at a business show as well in Edinburgh. He is not from Edinburgh. We're kind of going same country, but a few borders up north. He is from Aberdeen in Scotland, north, and he's a diehard Aberdeen football supporter. As he's mentioned that, he is, for those here in America, that's soccer, so it's a Scottish soccer team. He's got a wallet tighter than Fort Knox. If you can get into Fort Knox, it's easier. But the jokes he cracked at the event. Also, if you want to, you might get a coffee out of him every time there's an eclipse. But apart from that, welcome Stephen J. Ennis, and thank you for coming on the Ramsey Unleashed Going Beyond Borders podcast. How you doing?
Thank you, Fraser. Yeah, appreciate that. A bit of casual racism to start the evening. There's nothing wrong with that. Good. I'm all good.
So tell us about tell us a bit about yourself. Tell us about your background, because obviously building up to what you do now and the reason why you do it, obviously what you touched on at the event in Edinburgh, the Coffee Connections. Let's go into a bit more detail about who you are, like your life, a little bit more background, and leading up to what you're doing now, and kind of gradually with also health-wise due to linking it with Synergy. Yeah,
no problem. So I'm based in Stonehaven, just south of Aberdeen. Lived here most of my life, although I've been in Edinburgh, I've been in Italy, I've been in Holland, and I've been self-employed now since the age of 28, and hard to believe I'm 56 now. And my parents, my dad had a farm, my mum had a flower shop, and so they were always self-employed. So I was always going to go down the line of self-employed, and some things I've done have been remarkably successful, and other things less so. But that's life, that's business, and it's remarkable now that what I'm doing now is not what I planned. I'm a MC, public speaker, and was painfully shy at school and was bullied. And it's amazing that I went to Young Farmers, and one of the disciplines at Young Farmers that we were lucky enough to get access to was speech making. And that stood me in very good stead. And I found the longer I was doing that, and the more I was doing that, I was quick enough to be able to deflect the bullies. And the quicker witted I was, the less bullying I got. And it was almost like an automatic trigger. And I had absolutely no plans. When I left school, I had no idea what I wanted to do. Started working with a packaging company, and very quickly was out on the road, and it's completely self-taught. So I've always had to think on my feet, and I was given a briefcase and a car and told to get out and sell stuff. So, over that period of time, you just get to know what works. And I remember sitting in the car in Fraser, of all places, and it was a horrible pouring day of rain, and I was employed. I had a reasonable salary. I had a company car, and I'm just thinking, there's got to be more to life than this, And I was listening to the radio, and there was a song came on, and there was a guy called, you probably never heard of him, a guy called Kevin Kitchen, and he had one hit, and I think he got to number 83. But one of the song in the line was "Fed up living someone else's dream," and I was then, I was looking for a few different things to do and didn't know really what I wanted to do, and ended up joining a telecoms network marketing deal. Did really well out of that. Quit my job, and then foolishly at the age of 31, 32, you're thinking, you're pretty much done, and you're thinking then, and I remember I used to sit in the gym at the Ardo House Hotel and thinking, hey, I'm sorted, I've got a nice residual income, but you think it's going to last forever, and it didn't. So I then started a few different things and then became a franchisee with a company called Best of Health. And that got my first real interest in the health market. Did really well with that, was the number one franchisee with Best of Health. Had 5 postcodes in Scotland, Edinburgh included one of them. Then was headhunted and bought franchise with Italy and was running between Holland and Italy and Scotland and, doing great. But as I alluded to at the Edinburgh Connections, I knew something wasn't right. And I found out whilst I was sitting in the office in The Hague that our financial director had been siphoning money away from day one. And I ended up with nothing, So my gut feeling was telling me there's something wasn't right there.
Right.
But usual story, you're so busy, you're cracking on, and you just ignore the signals. So I then came back to Scotland, tail between my legs, pretty much lost a lot. And I remember sitting down with my accountant, who's a really good pal, and he said, look, pull the plug or work your way out of it. And I said, well, how well do you know? And he went, you're working your way out of it. And that's what I did. So did a merchant services deal and built a really nice team of 8, advisors through the country and did really well with that. And at that time, I'd started doing quite a lot of after dinner speaking and MCing, and life was pretty decent. Then I had a bit of a scare with my health, and I had taken the eye off the ball a bit, and was too busy running the business with not looking after myself. And I had that scare on stage where I was in front of 450 at a hotel in Aberdeen, and I'm a cheeky boy on stage. I get away with pretty much. I always say I'm very cheeky. I've only been assaulted twice, and both times thoroughly deserved. And that's true. Actually, one was at Hampden and one was at a hotel in Aberdeen. But so I had to make some serious changes with what I was doing, and I had been approached by a good pal of mine about Synergy Worldwide, and to goodness, I had no interest. I had absolutely zero interest in looking at anything. And if I was done.
Let's backtrack a bit. So the scare you had, what was the scare when you're on stage? Because obviously you must have been quite overweight to have that scare,
Yeah, I was 3 stone heavier than I am now. I was not doing any exercise. I was, I'd come home from a gig and I would be eating a big packet of crisps. I would have 7 or 8 dark chocolate digestives, not doing any exercise, not eating particularly well. And I kind of lost a lot of my self-esteem. And as I said earlier, I kind of lost my way. And it's taken me a long time to admit this, but I was probably feeling sorry for myself.
Right.
Because I had a look in the future of...
Right. What happened to you on stage?
I was just on stage and I had a wobble, and I genuinely thought I was going to have a heart attack, and I kind of got through my night. But I remember waking up in the morning and I was staying in the hotel, and waking up in the morning and I was looking in the mirror in the morning and I was feeling sorry for myself, and then I kind of gave myself a bit of a kick up the tail. My dad had just been diagnosed with dementia, and I thought, I need to step up to the plate here, stop feeling sorry for myself, dust myself down and take some action. And that's when Synergy came in, and I had been approached about them about a year earlier, and as I said earlier, I didn't want anything to do with it. Didn't look at it properly, but when I had that scare, I thought, right, I need to have a proper look at it. And 6 weeks later, I'm out at their European conference in Barcelona, and I went out and I didn't feel part of it because I was only there having a look. We came in the auditorium the wrong way, and I came in right beside the stage, and I remember looking up at the stage, and there was a little part of me thought, that's where I need to be. And I can safely say, well, 9 years later, this past September, I was on stage hosting their European conference.
Fantastic.
So gone completely full circle, and one of their top distributors now in Europe. And we're still an unknown name. People don't know who Synergy are, and unfortunately, the name Synergy doesn't help us because there's so many people have got. There's Synergy Telecoms, there's Synergy Oil and Gas, there's Synergy X, Y, and Z. So for me, it's about massive education on what we do and what we offer.
Well, go back to your speaking. What kind of where have you? Obviously, you've mentioned Italy. Where have you spoken? Have you ever spoken in America yet?
No, I haven't. I've done stuff all over the UK. I mean, I actually got a booking just came in yesterday for one down in Birmingham. So that week I'm doing one in Newcastle on the Thursday, and I'm doing Newcastle on the Wednesday and Birmingham on the Friday. A lot of charity stuff, a lot of charity golf days. I do a lot of hospitality, and then a lot of fundraising dinners. And I do the auctioneer's role as well, which I love. And ironically, my dad wanted me to be an auctioneer growing up.
Oh.
And I was lucky that my dad passed a few years ago, and I got my mum and dad along to an event one night where I was emceeing the whole night and doing the auction, and that for me was kind of like he now sees but they both seen what I do and what makes me tick, so, and I never feel as if I'm working. I just feel it's part and parcel of me being who I am.
Wow. So because I do have a lot of connections of people who are speakers who connect with speakers in America. Would you ever take the opportunity? I can connect you with these people if you're interested. I don't know if that would be something I go down the line. You'd be interested. You'd be speaking in America, because a lot of people. The person who runs on the logo, you see the BC and B Love TV. She's a speaker, Christy Love. There's people there's lots of business people in America I'm connected with. You could connect with, or I could connect you up with. I usually use Facebook; it's easier. And also LinkedIn, but sometimes I just use Facebook. And it's if you're interested in dabbling into the American market, I can connect you with people and see where that takes you and have conversations. If that interests you.
I mean, absolutely. I'm because Synergy is an American company, and I'm speaking a lot to the States just now about doing business over there, and I've had a tough old time on a personal level. I've been pretty much put everything on hold, just been ticking away with what I've been doing. I lost my twin sister last year.
Right.
And
sorry to hear that.
She had a brain tumour. And for the last 18 months, I was in at the care home every day. And I decided that I can pick up my stuff when I've done what I need to do. And I've now got no guilt. I still think about it every day, but I did what I needed to do. And so I'm now. There's the great thing for me is the opportunities that are opening up just now are absolutely off the scale, and it's all down to meeting people like yourself at these networking events and just being me and not trying to sell anything, just saying, "Hey, it's just what I'm doing. It's nice to meet you." Chat. You just never know where it's going to lead.
What's your general? Obviously, with what you've been through, where you are now, what's your you've got sort of goals that you've maybe set? You want to achieve over the next sort of the latter part of this year now into the sort of second quarter, I suppose, and then leading into maybe next year? Have you got sort of goals that you've set for a year, kind of thing?
Yeah, I'm very goal driven. I'm very goal driven. I'm very planned with what I do. Never used to be, but I'm very, very. I'm sitting. I've got my notebook. Still work an old notebook, and my plan is to be one of the top distributors in the UK, but also to grow it into the US and to grow it into the English-speaking parts of Europe. I was actually on a call last night about with some apps and stuff that we're working on, and I also want to grow my speaking offering further afield, so that the States would be something absolutely that is definitely on the market. I do a lot with the golf market, so that's a nice natural tie-in, And tomorrow I looked at the forecast and it's like it's glorious weather. So I've managed to pull all my meetings forward in the morning, and there's only one place I'll be tomorrow afternoon, and that'll be on a golf course.
This is your favourite golf course.
My favourite one is the Queen's at Gleneagles.
Got you. And what other ones did you go to?
I play at Dalmahoy. Yeah, I play at Dalmahoy every month. I'm at Montefieth every month. I'm the local ambassador for North East England, Scotland, and North Ireland for 4 Business Golf. So we're helping grow the golfing market with that.
Do you ever do Prestonfield in Edinburgh at all?
I've never played Prestonfield? No. I haven't played there before.
I haven't I've actually just had an idea, but I thought I'll chat to you afterwards out with, because I've got a connection who might benefit them, also give you what you around the golf at the course at the same time, so which could be a good thing actually. Yes, I'll chat to you off afterwards. Is there anything else you want to? I mean, obviously you did the general. You had the spotlight at the event on Wednesday, the Edinburgh Coffee Connection. You really get to say X amount of time what you can. Anything you really want to cover that maybe whoever's watching or listening to this basically want to just more insight to you personally, and obviously what you do, or maybe people you want to connect with,
Yeah, I mean, it's always the people that you think wouldn't be interested are, and the ones that you think would be interested are not. So for me, what we do with Synergy, we've got effectively there's two offerings. We've got the customer offering, which is to help people, for me, get fitter and healthier. I always suggest somebody does a 90-day program. It's got to be consistency. It's got to be alongside the supplementation's got to be alongside, slight change in what you're eating, a bit of exercise, and overall, and we do a lot with gut health. We do a lot with the microbiome. The results we get are off the scale because the products actually work, but we're realistic with people and saying, well, look, it's like when I had my scare, the guy that got me on said, look, you need to change a number of your habits. And that for me is, you've got to be consistent. It's not a quick fix. I met somebody yesterday and the girl was wanting to lose a pile of weight for a wedding in 2 weeks' time. And I went, not for me. If you want to come and do something on a long-term basis,
2 weeks.
Because I was that person. Yeah, realistically, and you get them all the time. And I was that person many years ago.
You didn't recommend liposuction by any chance?
No, not at all. No, too much a gentleman for that. So,
there's faster opportunities, but
yeah. But the big thing for me is I'm looking for partners. I'm looking for a lot of people are now looking for that secondary income, and a lot of people are now realising that there's too much of the month left and not enough income. And for me, the days of having one income stream is gone, and it's actually quite fashionable now. And people are now looking for, right, how can I add an additional income stream alongside what I'm doing? So that's just something that I'm really keen on. And when I spoke to Colin at Edinburgh Connections, I personally don't have any distributors or any partners working with me in Edinburgh. And that's crazy. But I've not done a big enough job getting visible and being out in front of people. And I'm not desperate for people just to come and join. I'm looking for the right quality of people that can enhance the offering to their client base. So that's the big thing. And that's why I say to people, look, have a conversation with me. I'll buy the coffee. An Aberdeen person who's not tight with a wallet, who will actually open the wallet and buy the coffee. It will be one coffee between two, but I'm still buying the coffee.
Two straws.
2 straws. And you just, I've brought 2 partners on this week, and both they approached me. One's been a product user for ages and has just gone self-employed and said, look, I need to add another string to my bow. And another one who's a young a social media dude, very switched on, a great presence about him. So he's really excited about adding the Synergy range to what he's doing. So that's the thing for me. I want to help entrepreneurs and people, grow. I've been lucky. I've had a number of mentors within my world that have been really, really helpful to me. And some at the time I didn't realise how helpful they were. So if I can help people grow and develop and just become the best version of themselves, well, then I've done a job.
Cool. Where can people connect with you personally? And well, you don't just, I know you don't just do the synergy thing. You have also started a different style of networking event, which is like one. I can't remember what it's called again. But the one you've just started, it's more a key smart working. That's what I was trying to. Yeah, smart working. Elaborate on that a little bit as well.
Yeah, I mean, smart working's been really. It's been completely out of the blue, but Andrew Charlton from #Events has become a really good pal of mine, and I've been exhibiting with Andrew for many years. And when lockdown kicked in, we still kept in touch, and then we were still talking about all of it. And it was tough because he'd lost all his business over lockdown. I'd lost most of my business apart from a synergy business. I found solace in the golf course and literally played every day. And just kept ticking away with my synergy business. And then when lockdown opened up again, he says, right, that's me going back to do the shows. And I wasn't sure if I was going to go back and do it, but I ended up, look, let's get cracking. And so I've been exhibiting at his business shows all over. And we were sitting at Stoke-on-Trent a year past March, and his guest speaker, who had paid for a speaking slot to do the networking session, didn't show. So half an hour before the event starts, he's got 42 people sitting in a room and no guest speaker. So he's through to me going, Mr. Innes, can you help me out? So I went through and did a session on networking, about building relationships, about developing. And it's not about selling. It's about, I always say, if you get to know me and you like me, the chances are I might help you. And in return, you might end up helping me. So we're sitting having dinner that night, and we then started shooting the breeze and having a chat about stuff. I then did the next two networking sessions at Wigan and in Stockport. And then that's where effectively smart working came about. So we're now running small groups of 15 hand-picked business professionals who meet on a monthly basis, mid-morning, mid-afternoon. And it's very much masterminding, where we are being quite selective, and it's not a case of just anybody can join. Now, that's not from a position of arrogance, such as from a position of, you know what, I've been in a number of networking groups and they haven't worked because they're just bringing anybody to the table. It's just another number. It's just another membership fee. We're not like that at all. We're disrupting the networking market quite a bit, but what we're offering it's successful. We're getting results. We've now got groups in Aberdeen, Aberdeenshire, Edinburgh, Glasgow, and next month we open up the northwest of England. But we will already we'll have at least within the next 90 days, we'll have another 2 groups in Edinburgh. We'll have 3 groups in Edinburgh, 3 groups in Glasgow, and then another couple of groups in Aberdeen. And we have got a waiting list of people that are now coming in, and we're getting it, really enjoying it, because it's very low. I think it's very low cost. It's very reasonable. There's no monthly fees. There's no reporting. We want genuine testimonials. I mean, I got a guy this week phoned me from the Glasgow meeting, and he said, "You put me in touch with somebody, and I've already done business with them." And I said, "Well, look, you've been lucky to get business quickly, but I know the two of you, and I knew, pardon the pun, there was a synergy between you. So, and then it's just worked out great." And for me, there's too many people go to networking with a pile of business cards, carpet bomb the room, hope to get, and then they'll go back and their boss or their business partner will say, "What did you sell today?" "Nothing. But you know what? I met 2 or 3 people." It doesn't work. You've got to, like you, I've come across, I've bumped into you so many times at the Edinburgh Business Show, and then here's us now on the podcast. I'm thinking of ways how I can help you. You're thinking of ways how I can help.
Actually,
how I can help me.
My head's going like this at the moment, because I've actually, I'm thinking, I've got an idea which would probably kill a few birds with one stone, and is golf related, which would benefit you, which would also benefit the golf club. So I think it'd be ideal. And that's where
I mean, that's where we. It's just the art of having a conversation. And, you know, I was at a golf club today, picking up new golf shoes, and ended up having a chat for about an hour. And out of that, I've probably got 2 events to do. And then there's another guy came in and I chat with him, and I can help him with what he's looking for. And for me, it's somebody said to me years ago, he says, "Oh, you're a connector." He says, "In the States, you'd be making a fortune." You know, but for me, it's just about putting the right people together. You know, and I mean, I genuinely don't feel as if I'm working on a day-to-day basis. I just do what I do, and I absolutely love it. The day I stop enjoying it, the day it will be, I'll just, you know what, I'll go and do something else. But at the moment, there's a lot of momentum. And as my accountant said to me just before he went away on holiday, he says, "You know what?" He says, "You've been 20 years in the making because you've just been consistent. You've just been, you know, and there's been good times and bad times. And it's like any business, you know, it's tough out there. So you need to surround yourself with the right tribe of people that are on the same page as you. And that's where smart working has been, and you know, it's come in really well. And I'm excited by it because I can see us helping a lot of small to medium-sized business owners who, you know, because we've been over the track ourselves, you know, and I'm always learning. I'm listening to podcasts. I'm, you know, somebody sent me a couple of things today, so that'll be my homework. I'm got away tomorrow for a couple of hours on the drive to see somebody, and I'll listen to stuff in the car, and you know, so you know, I'm very open. I certainly don't have all the answers, but I've got a lot of people that can help, and if we can help plenty of people, you're making the place a better place, you know.
I connecting people. I connect people in America up while sitting here. I'll just connect because I know them. I just say, "Well, you should chat to this person." I'll make the connection and just let them do it. And that's I just find it's enjoyable. It's nice just if you can make a connection with somebody. I interviewed recently a former wrestler who's looking to connect me up with a lot of wrestling people, so I can interview them and just hear their story, which is great. And it's kind of just all mixed bag of people, which is brilliant. It makes it interesting. So, and I think this is why I'm keen to. That's why I thought it was important for Edinburgh Coffee Connections for people who are doing their little snippet, their spotlight on their business, is to have an interview afterwards. So it means people can hear the bigger picture and not just a 5-minute snippet of what they do, and then before you know it, they forget about it. And I think it's important so then people can keep that connection going, and hopefully it'll grow the connections and everything else, you know, around it.
And the thing is, you just don't know when there's going to be that sweet spot. You know, you can be speaking to somebody for 4 or 5 times, and I mean, at the times I've seen you at the show, you know, I'm juggling, I'm doing the network, and I've got my synergy stand. You're busy speaking, and you're chatting, and it's not until you kind of step away and you go, it could be 3 or 4 conversations you have that you go, right, okay. You know, and for me, not enough people take time to do that. You know, they're in too much of a rush, you know, and I always say at the network, and we've all got umpteen, you know, I mean, I'm just changing my phone just now, and I don't know how many people I've got on my phone, but it's a ridiculous amount of people I've got in there, you know, and connections. I've got, I think, about almost 5,000 connections on LinkedIn. So, you know, and I'm connecting with people all the time. And the first thing I want to do with somebody is, let's have a proper conversation, you know, not about a cut and paste message or any of that nonsense, which I get all the time. And I always either get my name, they shorten the name to Steve, or they call it Stephen with a PH. And it's like, you know.
Many times people say my name wrong as well. It's just as bad. So, but yeah. But let's anything. Where can people connect with you? Where can they connect with you?
So I'm on LinkedIn, Stephen J. Innes on LinkedIn. I'm also on Facebook. So between the two of them, I'm on Instagram as well. But the main one would be LinkedIn. And it is, you know, I always use my full name, Stephen J. Innes. So there's my name, just appeared by magic on the screen.
I forgot I didn't realize that. Oh, so yeah. Well, we'll have your obviously your where people can connect with you in the show notes for on the audio version. Just then we can. But this is going at Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn. So this means it's the purpose of the people who then were coffee connections and anybody else kind of thing. But so this, I was distracted the whole thing in your flow by clicking on the name. So where can people? You want to say that again? Where can people connect with you? Sorry, that was my fault.
So once again, you can connect with me on LinkedIn. I'm on Facebook. I'm on Instagram. I'm not on Bebo anymore. I'm not on Friends United anymore. I'm not on any dating apps. So that's the two places that you can get me on LinkedIn or Facebook.
Crikey, that's going back some of them. My word, it's come back in like the dark ages.
I know.
Like the dark
I forget
the
myself.
Dark ages of
the wonderful web back the years.
I know. Anyway, no, I think we'll for them wrap it up there. For everyone who've been listening, watching, wherever you will be, whether it's in America, I want to say thanks to Stephen for just coming in and having a bit of a in-depth chat regarding what he does, networking, the synergy, his own personal health scare, which got him into it, and just speaking. And obviously, if you're interested in a guy from Aberdeen, Scotland, speaking in America or coming on your stage, you know where he is, and we'll get him booked up and jump on a plane, and he'll be there, and he'll love it. So, but we'll connect my ideas in my head. I'm going to talk afterwards off air, and I've got some great ideas from, which does involve golf, and I won't go into any innuendos regarding golf, but I will leave that there. But thank you for being on the show, and I hope that even though it's good to be serious with business, but also to have a bit of light-hearted humour and a laugh. Same time,
you know what? You've got. I think if you do business better if you've got a smile on your face, and more people enjoying what they do. So I really appreciate the opportunity to come on and have a proper chat. And anybody would like to get a chat with me, absolutely look forward to connecting in the future. So I appreciate the opportunity, Fraser. Thank you.
Anyways, well, to everyone who's been around the world, thanks again for another Ramsey Unleashed Going Beyond Borders podcast. Till next time, future guests coming up, and we look forward to hopefully impacting people's lives and what we talk about and hearing people's stories and where they've come from. Thanks again, and bye for now.
Bye-bye now.